Deconverted man here. The University of Minnesota has had a interesting oath taken by a number of medical students at the White Coat Ceremony, August 19th, 2022. This oath is a very interesting oath, and I think you might find it to be pretty interesting. Maybe you won't. I don't know. I'm gonna read it, but I'm also including a link to the video of it. You can listen to them chanting this oath themselves. It's on YouTube, and there's also a video of it on Twitter as well. But before I read this oath, and by the way, the reason why I'm showing this oath from a different website other than the official University of Minnesota is, well, let me just show you something interesting about the official website here. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe not. Maybe I shouldn't make anything of it. I don't know. But here on Google, you go to University of Minnesota Medical Oath, right? And here's a couple links here, right? And you can see, because it previews things, you can see it says, as public servants and neighbors, we promise to hold ourselves accountable to the values of our diverse communities. I pledge to facultate my trust within my ... And then the other link says, I pledge to exemplify the integrity and virtues and sustain the practice of medicine. I aspire to excellence, will be mindful of my limitations and open ... Now, if you click this first link, you are taken to access denied. Access denied. Nothing to see here, folks. I am not authorized to access this page. Interesting. Well, nothing to see there. Okay, well, let's then go to the other link and see what that's about, perhaps, because we weren't supposed to access that first link for some reason. I'm sure that's completely normal. Then we click on the next link, and here we have the class oath to honor the medical profession, and under this we have an oath that reads fairly normally. And when I say normal, you'll understand what I mean by that when I read to you the actual oath that was taken by the students. Because, see, this is the oath that maybe they were supposed to take, but this isn't the oath they actually took. So, and we know that they took a different oath because it starts differently. And so you can see right here, it shows, let me get that bigger for you. With gratitude and the privilege of becoming a physician, I pledge this oath to myself, my parents, my colleagues, and my community. Right? And so it's very interesting because the other one started with very different wording here, which was, I pledge to exemplify, as public servants and neighbors, we promise to hold ourselves accountable to the values of our diverse communities. So that's a very different oath. So there was two oaths, but one of them just isn't available. Nothing to see here, folks. So somebody transcribed the oath that they actually took, that you can hear them taking in the video, and here is that transcription of the oath, and it is quite interesting. So we'll take a look at this. With gratitude, we, the students, the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities, blah, 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 stand here today among our friends, families, communities, reaching, and who have supported us in reaching this milestone. Our institution is located on Dakota land. Okay. Today, many indigenous people from throughout the state, including Dakota and Ojibwe, call the Twin Cities home. We also recognize this acknowledgement is not enough. We commit to uprooting the legacy and perpetuation of structural violence deeply embedded within the healthcare system. We recognize inequities built by past and present traumas rooted in white supremacy, colonization, the gender binary, ableism, and all forms of oppression. As we enter this profession with an opportunity for growth, we commit to promoting a culture of anti racism, listening, and amplifying voices for positive change. We pledge to honor all indigenous ways of healing that have been historically marginalized by Western medicine. Knowing that health is intimately connected to our environment, we commit to healing our planet and communities. We vow to embrace our role as community members and strive to embody cultural humanity. Can't say it. We promise to continue restoring trust in the medical system and fulfilling our responsibility as educators and advocates. We commit to collaborating with social, political, and additional systems to advance health equity. We will learn from the scientific innovations made before us and pledge to advance and share this knowledge with peers and neighbors. We recognize the importance of being in community with and advocating for those we serve. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? It's so lovely, and it's just it's just mwah, it's just chef's kiss. So here's my thoughts on it. Okay, so what does recognizing the land that you're on, who originally was there? Because, well, before you, somebody else lived there, and before them, somebody else. So we're going to go all the way back to the Native Americans. And we're going to go to the latest tribe that happened to inhabit that land. That was their area. But it wasn't just, but before them, there was some other Native Americans that might have had that area that they took that area from. So what about that tribe? And what about the tribe before that? Why stop there? Why not keep going? But what I ask, perhaps somebody can enlighten me, what possible benefit does acknowledging the land that you're on and who originally inhabited it, if there is such a thing, what relation does it have to the medical profession, and what benefit does it have to the medical profession to recognize it? And what's more, we recognize the acknowledgement isn't enough. So what is enough then? Because this is an oath. You're swearing to do something. Now, what exactly is it that you're meant to do about this issue? That the Dakota and Ojibwe, it's not just enough to recognize that this is theirs. So what is it would be enough? What would be enough? Because you're supposed to do something. Are you supposed to give the land back? Are you supposed to give them reparations for infinity and beyond? What exactly would be enough? I'm interested to know that. But we're not told that. It's not codified into this. So it's ambiguous. There's then the idea that structural violence is deeply embedded within the healthcare system. This is odd. Why in the world would you enter into such a broken system? Why would you want anything that has structural violence embedded within it. Why would you make a career choice to be around violence like that? It it baffles the mind why you would choose that path. Anyone that is sane would stay away from a system that has structural violence deeply embedded within it. But regardless, they're committed to uprooting it. Ah, I see. So yeah, it's a problem, but we're going to fix this problem that's there. Okay. Yeah. We recognize inequities built by past and present traumas rooted in white supremacy. Really? What would those be exactly? We're just going to assert that those exist in the medical system. Oh, okay. And again, why am I entering into this? Well, I'm entering into this to fix those problems. Although I thought I was entering this to be a doctor, but I guess I'm entering into this to fix the problems of the system. At some point, the patient's going to be mentioned, right? Because I thought the doctor's thing was about the patients, but so far we haven't really mentioned the patients. So that's just interesting. Colonizationalism. Colonization. Oh yes. All the problem that the medical profession has colonized and is guilty of that, I guess, somehow. The gender binary. The what now? So there's past and present traumas that are rooted in the gender binary. I don't even know what that means. Ableism. Oh, I love this term. Now, ableism is like if you're handicapped, they don't want to call it handicapped anymore. I guess I don't know. So yeah, this is what I don't know. And all forms of oppression, all of them, all the oppression, whatever the oppression might be. As we enter this profession with the opportunity for growth, we commit to promoting a culture of anti-racism, because see, racism is obviously there, so you have to promote anti-racism, whatever that is. I don't know. Listening, well, that's good to listen, but then amplifying voices. Oh yes, amplify voices. What does that mean exactly? I don't know. And why this is in bold, I'm not sure, but that might have just been a choice of the person that copied this. But anyways, we pledge to honor all indigenous ways of healing. All of them? Really? Wow. There's a lot of those, by the way. And then they've been historically marginalized by Western medicine, whatever that means. But so ways of healing that the indigenous people have come up with. I don't know. It's just whatever that is. So are we going to spend money, research, time, energy on studying this different techniques that they have to heal people with the shaman? Like maybe they have a dance or something. And hey, if you were entering into the weather system category in your university, maybe you would want to spend some time and money studying whether or not rain dancing actually causes rain, because that's been marginalized by Western medicine. Although I guess testing it, that would also be that you're testing it using Western ideas. So that's a bad thing too. So, look, you can have the doctor come in, but you can also have the shaman come in and you're healed. I don't know what they do. That's racist for me to do that. But nonetheless, we're gonna honor those ways of healing. I don't know what it means to honor it. Are we gonna use those ways of healing? Are we going to study those ways of healing? I don't know. We're going to honor them regardless, because it's been marginalized, and that's a bad thing. I don't know. Maybe they don't work. Maybe that's why they've been marginalized, is because they've been tested and they've been shown to not work. That's possible, but whatever. Anyways. And then, of course, health is intimately connected to the environment, so we're committed to healing our planet. Well, of course, because Captain Planet, we need to be not just doctors, but the planeteers as well. I don't know. That seems to be somebody else's job, perhaps. I mean, yes, we should, do our part, recycle and whatever we can do within our. But I'm not sure that codifying that into an oath for the medical profession makes a lot of sense, because that's a lot you're asking this person to do. At some point, they're going to talk about the patient, right? Um, hmm. Here, they advocating for those we serve. Well, there you go. Finally, a mention of the people that they serve. But I don't know. It just seems to be that there's where was the patient? Oh, there's the patients. Let's see. No, that's in the comments. So that's not in the actual oath. Hmm. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, but I did find this other more boring oath, and I thought I would share as well, just as a declaration of a new doctor. Now, might be a little bit different than the oath that they took, because they're not becoming doctors yet. This is a different oath, but nonetheless, I don't know. I just thought that this oath was fine. I didn't see any problem with this. Practice medicine with integrity, humility, honesty, and compassion, working along with fellow doctors and colleagues to meet the needs of my patients. I mean, amazing. Within the first few paragraphs, it mentions the patients. Whereas that other oath didn't mention the patients at all. And then, I'll never intentionally do or administer anything to the overall harm of my patients. Again, it mentions the patients in this oath that the doctor is taking. Amazing. The other one didn't mention the patients at all. Then they'll not permit considerations of race, gender, etc. to the duty of care. Well, that's great. I agree with this. That seems to cover all the bases. I will oppose policies in breach of human rights. Seems good to me. Not participate in them. Good. I will strive to change laws that are contrary to my profession's ethics. Okay, yeah. I mean, there could be maybe some problems there, possibly, but I think that that's a good part of the oath there. I think that's fine. And work towards a fair distribution of health resources. Again, okay, that seems fine to me. Now, I could see that somebody might take some issue with this. I could see that the wording could be, you know, could be looked at in a little bit tilted. Maybe we shouldn't be including oaths that say that we're going to change laws or keep laws to keep our profession's ethics safe or whatever. But I do understand the reasoning behind that. So yeah, I mean, but I don't see anything really wrong with this. I mean, there's some little bit of quibbles, I suppose, that you could take with this, or with this more boring oath. Where even it gets pretty humble. I recognize the limits of my knowledge and seek to maintain and increase my understanding and skills throughout my professional life. It's interesting. Didn't mention any of that in the other oath. You know, well, I will acknowledge and try to remedy my own mistakes and honestly accept and respond to those of others. Nothing about how broken the system of medicine is and fixing all that. Just self-improvement. That's interesting. Well, anyways, I'll seek to promote the advancement of medical knowledge through teaching and research. That wasn't mentioned in the other oath. And I make this declaration solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. And that wasn't in the other oath, because, well, the other oath is far more, it's far more, covers all the bases. We got to worry about the natives and their land and their medicine that they practice, and yeah, just, man, bring in that, that hut, that so I can stay in the hut there, the smoke hut, and sweat out my illness, because that practice has been marginalized by the white man. Yes, yes, yes. We're gonna operate on this thing. No, 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 no. We're gonna have a shaman come in and wave some beads around for a while. Yeah, that will fix the patient right up. Yeah. So I don't know. I just found that very interesting. I thought you might as well. Let me know if you're for or against the University of Minnesota's medical oath. Now, maybe, and this is possible. I could be wrong. Maybe this just was a group of random students that decided to take it upon themselves to get somebody that was old enough to look like a teacher to stand, and they all decided to take this oath independent of what the school wanted. That's plausible. That's possible. Of course, it doesn't mention that on the university's website that that's what happened. Doesn't mention why the other oath is not accessible or anything like that. Doesn't explain the video that's out there. But nonetheless, I'm sure there's some reasonable explanation, and maybe this was just a small group of people that did this, and there's nothing to worry about, or maybe not. I don't know. It's possible. Uh, but I doubt it. And I'll have a follow up to this video where I talk to somebody that's been in the medical profession and get their thoughts on this wonderful new oath. I'll have that up sometime within the following day to come once I edit it, etc. So enjoy the native medicine that we'll be receiving in the future. That's something to look forward to.